gold diggers, or
I call it the Kevin
what
Samuel.
you bring into the table and all this junk.
What
table?
What table?
What?
The
What
Kevin
table?
Samuel incels are left.
I saw this show
Ah.
called Pop the Balloon.
Oh yeah, that's a great
yes.
show.
It's
Actually,
hilarious. It's
I like
horrible.
it.
It's
I like it though.
It's entertaining, but it's bad. It shows
Bad, yeah.
it shows
It's
how
true,
bad
though.
dating
People
is.
think-
It shows the truth.
exactly. And this dude, I swear, he thinks he's Kevin Samuel's son.
What about the Ninja
All
Turtle
the same
guy?
thing.
Oh, the guy with the no neck.
He got
no, not
caught
him.
with
The one
being a
the
Ninja Turtle.
big-
Yeah, that was so
I
bad.
don't know him, but I saw the
What?
one with
That's
Dr.
like viral.
Elam, Dr. Elam, the dentist. He was
Mm.
horrible.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
super arrogant. Like that's what you got.
Oh
So
my
if you want to
God.
date a professional, it's gonna be an arrogant idiot.
Mm.
And if you want to date anybody else, it's gonna be Kevin Samuel's son.
Okay, guys. She's saying she hates dating, but she wants to be.
Oh yeah, we're
Married?
on. Okay, yes.
Yeah.
So I love
We've been
love,
on.
and I would love to be in a loving relationship, but I
Mhm.
don't like dating because I think that there's so much pee in the dating pool. I think that there's a bunch of men out there that are like Kevin Samuels, and there's a bunch of women out there that think that men owe them something. And
City girls.
yeah, they think that men owe them something, and then men are hearing that, and they're painting this broad paint over all women, and then the ones of us that are independent but still will let a man be a man and do man things get the short end of the stick. I said it, and I said it loud and proud. Let's go.
Ah.
But so you take out dating, then what is there? You just meet somebody
You
in
just stuck.
Straight to
Arranged
the-
marriage?
straight
No,
to
I
the
Sign the
also-
contract
wait,
and that's
wait,
it? What?
Wait. I I do love Indian matchmaker. I want Auntie Isima to be my auntie.
She's expensive.
She is
Yeah.
awesome. She's expensive, but it's worth it. But anyway, jokes and disillusion aside, I actually think that I'm hoping that this trend is cyclical, like the real estate industry, where it has its circle and it changes. So it's going to be up here, it's going to be down here where it is right now. But at some
Somewhere
point,
down in the bottom. now.
somewhere in the bottom, in the bottom, in the gutter,
We're in the drag.
down
Right.
in the bottom.
The dregs.
Right, so drag
Yeah.
down in the bottom.
In the
And it's-
trenches.
it's in the trenches.
The trenches.
And it's gonna come back up. So I'm just gonna ride this wave when it comes back up, and then people start like not hurting each other, not having these crazy expectations, not painting.
Wait.
a broad
What do you
brush
mean
on
crazy
everybody.
expectations? What do you mean crazy expectations?
Like
What do you mean?
like
'Cause
if I
think
if I go on a
expectations are
date, if I go
necessary.
on a date with somebody, he expects me to cook for him.
Hmm?
And that's a date.
Instead of going on a date.
Yes, because
Oh.
yeah,
Oh,
Yeah.
a home date.
No.
yeah. No,
The first date
no.
at his house, at your house,
It doesn't
or at
matter.
his house? No,
It doesn't matter.
No.
The
no,
fact
at
that
no one's house.
You
It's a no.
think that I should be doing something that is really, for some of us, a committed, wifely, or just committed act.
So but the men will say, okay, so you want us to provide and you want us to buy all these things for you, then that's the act of a husband. I'm not doing that. If you can't cook and you can't come help me with clean, why should I put out all this money and try to help you and provide for you and you don't want to do nothing back for me?
Again, you're trying to do wifey and husband things. That I think that those acts should be things that are for a committed relationship. And in the dating time, it's time for you to get to know that person. You could say, hey, this is what I expect if we're in a committed relationship. Even that is better than thinking that you can, what's that saying about cows?
Oh, what is it? Oh
What's that saying about cows?
no. Why buy the cow when you get the milk for free?
Yes,
Getting the
why
milk for
buy the
free.
cow when you
Yeah.
can get the milk for free?
Well, somebody has to give. Somebody has to say, okay, now I'm willing to do this, and then things can move accordingly. Because if nobody's willing to give, if nobody wants to pay for dates, if nobody wants to go on dates, if nobody wants
Well,
to,
don't bother to
if
do
nobody
it. Don't
wants-
date.
No,
Don't
no.
date.
then how,
Don't date. You don't want to
date,
pay. Don't date,
If
ladies.
you don't date, how do you get to know someone to get to know them enough to marry them.
I agree. How do you
Look at arranged
do you
marriages.
do it if you don't date?
But look at arranged marriages. They go out.
We
The
are
parents
not a
select them.
culture of
The parents
Arranged
select them. They
marriages.
find a
Wait.
man. The parents talk. They do their dowry, Indian, African, whatever. They do it, and then they're like,
Wait.
okay, well, we're gonna put them together. They finally meet on the night off, the day off, and then it's
Wait,
like,
let's-
but sometimes they
What
meet
that say?
before.
let's be real.
Good.
We are not a culture of
sounds like
arranged
it.
marriage. We are
No,
not a
we're not.
culture of arranged marriage.
No.
So we're not. I don't think we should even.
So how are you gonna
entertain
do it? How are you going to do it?
I agree with Dewan.
Oh.
You have to have some type of give, right?
Mm.
Right. But I don't think that this is dating to me is supposed to be the getting to know phase, right?
That's what it is.
So that's what it is. It's getting to know you.
Mhm.
Do I want to be with this person?
Right.
Long
Do
term.
I
Mhm.
want to be with
How long
you?
should that be? A month, 2 months, 6 months?
Mm, I
Is
don't
there a
know.
time? Is
depends.
there
It
a
could be
time
3
limit on that?
months. Some people take 5 years. I think it's way too long.
That's too
Yeah.
long.
I think if you're
Yeah.
like 2 years in, which is still
Mm-mm.
long.
2 years and then I'm still
Yeah.
deciding. Nah,
No.
you're a waste of time. But it's I'm just saying.
You know what's funny is if you listen to dating coaches of today, I follow 2 dating coaches on TikTok. They both have great advice.
Okay.
The guy one, he actually does tell women to cut men off at a certain time.
Mm.
Yeah.
What was this time?
I forgot. I will come back.
I'm trying to get this. Inquiring
Yeah.
minds need to know.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And the woman I follow, she says for the first 3 months, no to each other's house dates, no
Mm.
kissing, and no
And three-
overnights.
In three,
Mm.
how
For 3
about 3
months.
months? No
Yes.
kissing.
Mm.
I don't
No
know about
overnights,
that
no
one.
kissing,
Mm.
and no is it arguing? No kissing, no overnights, and no I think it's no
Mm.
arguing or something like that.
Mm.
Something like
Some people
that.
might be like 3 weeks is
I
long
think it's
enough.
She said 3 months
She
or
said
3
3
weeks.
months.
3
Well,
months.
you know,
3 months.
some people agree with the no, okay.
The
In
90-day
some
rule,
in
yeah.
some religious marriages, Christian, you know,
Not supposed to.
if you hold hands, be careful because they know they try to say, you know, don't do certain things because we know it leads to other things. Because I mean, my church was popular. The church I attended was like that. I mean, if you're gonna, you know, if you're gonna go on dates, make sure other people are around. If you're going to hold hands, be careful. But if you start kissing, then you know. So you know, I'm just saying. And you know, I mean, people followed it. Some people did, and some people didn't. But you know, that was the thing to kind of help you to not fall into those not traps, but into those areas where you might not be able to stand firm on your beliefs.
So are we coming in on dates with rules and guidelines?
Of-
So it's like, okay, we're gonna date for 3 months, and after this we do that, or I'm willing to do this and you're not willing to do that. You have to pay for this many dates before I'm like. It sounds real.
It sounds very methodical
Mm.
Yeah,
and
It's-
very
it probably should be.
constructed. And it
Maybe
might
it should
maybe
be.
that's how it should be.
Maybe it should be.
You know, let's put our rules down.
Mm.
You know,
Mm.
maybe let's
Hey,
put our rules
listen.
down.
So this is what it will sound like. I'll pay for the first 3, maybe 4 dates. The first date, we're gonna go out to a nice restaurant. The second date, we'll probably just go to the park. The third date, we go to another restaurant, maybe not as high quality. Is that what we're saying? And then after
Yeah,
the
that's
fourth
what
date,
I'm
I'm not paying.
thinking.
Then you can probably pay, or we pay together. What about the man taking care of 100% of everything?
We
And
gotta have that
I
discussion.
think that
Mhm.
it should be a discussion.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
I also think that if a guy sees a woman and he decides, you know what, I'm going to pursue her, then he should pay. I don't, however, think that every single date should be a going out date to somewhere expensive.
yeah,
Right.
no.
Yeah.
Because
I
I'm not
agree.
going to really learn anything about you
And who can
Mm-mm.
maintain
in that.
You
And
can't.
who can maintain it? And even if you could, why would you want to?
Why would you
Right.
I
want
think
to?
it creates this false narrative of what you should do, what you shouldn't do, and how much you should give or not give, and just
Mhm.
dumb stuff like that.
Bring back courting. That's what we need. We need to bring
Yes.
that back.
Courting.
Another show that
Courting.
I absolutely adored was The Courtship.
Mm.
Okay.
Yes.
What was that about?
That was about this woman
Mm-hmm.
that they moved her into a castle, and it was all like
Okay.
Bridgerton. So there was no touching, no feeling. Of course, she and a few guys broke the rules, and of course, it did not last because that does not work in courtship. Okay.
Mhm.
And so there was a group of guys, and they all courted her. You
Mhm.
know, she got to pick who she wanted to go on a date with. They went on a date, whether it was a picnic or
Mhm.
whatever, horseback riding, whatever, a plethora of stuff.
Mhm.
But they pursued her. The guys that wanted to pursue her
Pursued her.
pursued her.
See,
Yeah,
yep. So maybe we need to bring that back.
yeah.
Yes, absolutely. So at the end, what happened? Was she courted? Did she pick somebody that was
She
proper
was
for her, or what happened?
she courted. She ended up with a guy that she did something that would not happen in Bridgerton times,
Oh,
and it ended up that he wasn't really. Um, anyway, he got eliminated.
okay.
and,
Oh,
then, and then she picked a guy that she probably shouldn't have picked, but she picked him anyway, and that
hmm,
didn't work either. Because in all of that, she still picked someone that had some red flags,
wow.
you know? So, and again, like we were saying on the show previously, like when you asked about when did the whole how the date change,
Mm-hmm.
even if you were to try to do the courting kind of dating, I think that people's minds are so messed up in all of the dating that has happened so far that you
Mm-hmm.
can't even really maintain that. You don't even really know how to do it. You
Mhm.
you
No,
have no you're totally and completely guessing on how it's done. And
right.
you're hoping that it works. And
Mhm.
you really have no clue.
Mm.
Just
And you're doing it backwards.
Mm. Mm. Okay. You still on the backward stuff, huh?
Oh, baby Jesus.
Alright.
Hopeless.
All right. Come on, come on, come on. We're still talking here. We're talking. You Choose Radio Family. We just wanted to see what was going on. We want to always say hey to you. And this is the behind the scenes kind of talk. We're
Yes.
talking about Yola here says, listen, she want to get married, but she don't want to date.
Yeah.
And
I
I
love
wanna date.
love
you
and I
know, you
want to
know
be
what
in a
it is
loving
though?
relationship,
It's
but I don't like dating right
it's
now
the
because I
whole
just don't
process.
like what's out there.
Yeah.
I no
If
longer I picked and I picked and I picked
Pick crap.
and I'm
your
tired.
picker is
The
off.
pick,
Yeah,
yeah. So we
my
have to do a
picking
show on how to really
radar
pick.
is
Right.
off. My picking radar is off.
Right.
That I'm tired of doing it.
But dating serves a purpose. We can't just X that out. There's a
Yeah.
purpose
That's
to
true.
it.
Yeah, I mean, at a minimum, you should say
Some,
my dating purpose is to get married, or I'm dating because I just want to have fun. So I
Okay,
guess
but
you
you
got to
get that
start
out
there.
there. You get it out there. I'm dating with a purpose. I want to date because my long-term relationship is what I want. I want a long-term relationship. And they might be like, hey, you know what? I'm just chilling right now. Well, you know that you can X that one out. And then you find somebody that wants a long-term too. Okay,
or
so
they say they do.
they
So
say,
they say they
oh
do. You
boy.
see what I'm saying? You see
But
what I'm
they
saying?
might, but it might not be with that individual because they're not gelling.
You know what's interesting about that? About having someone say, I want that, but they don't really want it, is I think you can see by their movements that
Behaviors.
their
Behaviors
behaviors
tell
that
all.
what they're saying is not really true. They really don't want long term.
Mhm.
Well, maybe they don't want it with that person. Maybe if they find that right person, then they'll be like, well, yeah, that's the right person. Like
Well, then,
you might meet somebody, Yola, and you're just like, it's a nice guy. And then you're like, I'm not kind of feeling him. You still want long term. He wants long term, but it's just that you don't want long term with him. You find somebody else and you're like, he's a better
so then I
prospect.
ghost him.
Then you
No, we don't ghost him. We're not ghosting.
I'm kidding.
No.
Yeah,
I'm kidding.
you gotta, yeah,
I don't
yeah.
believe in
Listen,
ghosting.
listen, ghosting is the easiest way,
Ghosting is rude.
Yes.
but it's
easy.
rude. It's not the best way.
It's not.
Just man up,
It's
woman
very
up, and be like,
cowardly.
listen, hey, listen, it's just not working.
It's a part of
Adulting, yeah.
And adults.
Ghosting is rude and
Adulting
it's
is
cowardly. You're a
Mm.
child.
You're
You ghost me, you're a child.
That's not fair though.
How you mean?
Because sometimes it's just what is ghosting? Just not answering the phone or just not
Yeah.
continuing to talk
Yes.
because you're just like,
When
hey,
you're calling someone or trying to reach out to someone, that person is not returning your calls. They're not communicating with you. Their communication is sketchy.
mm-hmm.
They're they are starting to ghost you, and then eventually it'll be non-existent, and
Yeah.
you would
Yeah.
be ghosted.
And again, but their behavior is telling you what?
Yeah,
That they're not
absolutely.
interested. They
That
don't want to
they're
be in a
not
long-term
into.
relationship.
Yeah.
And
Some people don't want to hurt somebody else's feelings.
that's true.
So what if they're like, hey, I just want to just fade it out. I don't want to hurt their feelings.
That's true, and that is very true. However, I
However,
think that we're adults, and
Mhm.
it's time that men and women realize that you can be adult and honest and say, I'm not feeling you. And yeah, that person's gonna get hurt, but guess what? That's why we have big pants.
Big boy, big girl pants.
That's why we have big boy, big girl pants, and that's
Yeah.
a part of life.
Mhm.
Yes, you're going to hurt that person. It's not going to last forever, because to that one person that you said, I'm not feeling you, there are 10 other people that is feeling that person. That
Mhm.
person meets and checks all of their goals. So instead of, ghosting somebody and now scarring that person's heart to the
Mhm.
next person they meet, it's going to be kind of jaded because of that.
Yeah.
Because I mean,
Starting trauma, huh?
yeah, at the end of the day, all of our relationships that don't work, it some of it stems from some pain we had before that we have
Mhm.
not resolved.
Yes.
That just goes, it's baggage that goes or comes into your next relationship.
Mhm.
For all the men and women that have been ghosted, you are taking that into your next relationship.
Yeah.
You just
Yeah.
are.
Yeah.
You're kind of closed off because you're afraid now that you will get ghosted, especially if you're ghosting having the resolution, which none of them do.
No,
Well,
that's why it's
the
called
good
ghosting.
Exactly. None of
That's why
them
it's called
do.
ghosting.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, you're
But I
now
think
hurt.
I also need to give people on this as well. If you are in a relationship and you're not picking up signs that maybe somebody's no longer interested and you just looking past them, so kind of also have to have some awareness there as the person that might have been the ghosty. Something like that,
I
right?
like it.
So you're like, okay, well, I see they're not now calling me as much, or they don't want to go out as much, or they don't want to meet my family, they don't want to see my kids. Like, you have
Yeah.
to take it as not trying to change them.
Yes. Take a step back. Pull
Accept,
back.
accept,
All right.
Accept it. Yeah.
So the word of
To
the
see
day
it.
is to be upfront
Yes,
and
Yes.
honest.
be honest and say,
Yes.
hey, okay, figure out what it is,
We
figure
should.
out how to be nice and kind,
Yes.
and say how you feel.
We should have a show about that. How to tell when someone's not into you. It should be
Just not that
called.
into you.
Yeah.
Just not
It
into
should be called
you.
He or She Is Just Not Into You. How to Tell.
All right, we can do that. Definitely,
Mhm.
definitely.
And your homework could be watch the movie.
All right, guys, we love you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for being with us. Y'all take care, and we see you soon. Bye.
Bye.